Hello, everyone. This is Demetrius Curry, and I am coming to you today. Actually, I'm on site with one of my great clients, and we are working on some projects. And I was like, you know what? I got to come live from wherever I am because we got to talk to Miss Christina Renteria today. Yes, I'm so super excited about this, guys. We are doing Financially Fit Fridays, and brought to you by W Squared AV Talk. And the reason why we want to pull this together is because we wanted to make sure that we were able to work with the people that are in business and to give them some additional things that they need to do in their lifestyle, in their actual careers, and then how to be financially fit in their finances, right? So today we are going to be interviewing Miss Christina Renteria, and let me tell you, talking about a wealth of knowledge. I'm not going to hold you any further because we got so much to put into this 10, 15 minutes that we're together today. So, Miss Christina, hello. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good, doing so good. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm so excited to bring all this knowledge to the people talking to you today.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to apologize for last week not being able to get here, but I am here today, and I'm here to answer any questions you have. Anyone be out there that's watching right now,
Yeah.
and if she hasn't already told you, share this because Demetrius is amazing. She is the one to know for all things money, finance, and I'm just thankful that you bring me on today.
Oh, no problem, no problem. She says, "Oh, awesome to see you both." We're getting some comments coming in already. And we're also live on Instagram. So hello guys. Thank you so much for joining in with us today. We're so excited that you're here. Thank you for joining us for Financially Fit Fridays. And we are here with Miss Christina Renteria if you're just joining. So glad we're gonna share this. She's gonna share it from her page as well. But let's jump right into it, Miss Christina. So
Yes.
as you know, we are in business. So you and I have been together, oh my God, for quite a while now. How long has it been? About 5, 6 years?
I think this is makes it 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years,
It's
right?
been a minute.
Yeah. And we actually started together some time ago with what was then called the Wealth with a Vision Tour, when we actually went from city to city teaching financial literacy. And we talk about different things that people needed into getting a financially healthy lifestyle in their finances, in their health, in their business. And whoo, that was a great tour. That was a great tour.
It
So
was
I was so glad that you were to one of our speakers there. I was the sponsor and the host for that particular tour. And now it has transitioned to W Squared AV Talk. How crazy is that?
it's amazing. I've loved every single growth spurt that you've had in all your businesses, and even what you're doing now for Financial Fit Fridays. Like, this is like what's needed in today, like a wealth of knowledge, but also how to use it, execute it. Those things are, I feel like, is missing right now in the business, and you're providing that gap that we need filled. So I'm
um, I appreciate that. I truly, truly do. I appreciate that. It's not, and I got to tell you this. It's not just me. We have a team.
yeah,
We have an actual team that has just been helping us with everything. And so, I'm grateful for all of them for being a part of everything we've done the last 5 or 6 years. And it's so many of them I can't really name everybody right now, but I definitely want to say thank you guys for the entire team that has helped us pull this together. It is just an amazing opportunity to pull together. But today, let's zone in on some major things that you and I want to talk about, and that is about the internal documents of your business, right? You and I both operate in craziness every single day when we have to deal with corporate clients and investors and people that's trying to market their business and trying to find that right target audience and so forth. But then sometimes life gets so busy with us trying to do the outside stuff of running business that we sort of fall short on what we need to do internally to make sure that our business is flowing properly, right?
right.
Yeah. And so that's why we wanted to bring Financially Fit Fridays to the forefront. And today we're zoning in on those internal documents that we definitely need in our business. So
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about that, and then for you to give us some insight on what is some best things that they need to do in their operations and type of documents that they need in their operation. So we have a couple items that we want to talk about, but I'm gonna give you the floor and let you tell us more about that.
Yes. So being in business, 9 years, I also have a marketing and branding agency, but being an attorney for over 12 years, I've seen a lot of small businesses not putting things in place. And when she says your paperwork, that means any legal documentation. So that may be your operational agreements or service agreements. That may be your NDAs, NCAs. You may have a waiver in your business. That can even be on your website having your disclaimers on there and your about page. Make sure that has everything on there. Making sure you have all of your text together on your website. You offer services or products because at the end of the day, they come back to you as that expert.
Mm-hmm.
As an expert, it's important to lead with documentation or at least terms and conditions so they
Mm-hmm.
know what they're getting themselves into. So if you sell a beauty product, there should be terms and conditions definitely on your website. If you are in the hair business, you should have disclaimers when you go to the hairdresser. If you're in brokerage or finances, there should be an operation or service agreement so they know what to expect and what they should be doing as a client. A lot
Right.
of times we feel like, oh, we're clients, we're just getting service. We don't have any obligations to this business. We don't have to do right by them. We don't have to say nice things to them. But no, in your service agreement, that should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
No issues that arise. Because we all are clear and concise on what's happening in this business ship.
And you're right. And one thing about the service agreement, and some call it operations agreement, we use a service agreement ourselves. And it sort of helps put everything distinctively on your paperwork. What when I was in law class years ago, when I was in college and finance school, they would say it's about the four corners of the contract. And so if you have that four corners of the contract distinctively saying, I'm going to offer you this particular service, you can expect to have it by this particular time. It will include these particular type of duties. We will not do these particular items, the things, even the things that you will not be doing in your agreement with them. We have a broker agreement, and that's what I call my service agreement. And in my broker agreement, it says when we need to expect payment, when can we actually come to a mediation table, cancellation options of when you can cancel, when you can't cancel, all those things, right, are so needed inside your four corners of the contract. If a service agreement, we've seen some bad things happen in the media, really, about
Mm-hmm.
people not really knowing what's in their service agreement, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, another thing people don't really pay attention to in that service agreement is the state that's governing that service agreement.
Mm.
So a lot of people they're like, oh, I just download some templates and it'll work. There's some articles and some laws that do not transfer state to state. So your state may say we do law this way. Another state may say no, we do law this way. And so whatever state you're actually servicing that client in, make sure it also has that state on there. And it doesn't say California or New York or Nebraska or New Mexico if
Right.
you're in Alabama. Because now you just breached your contract before you even started.
Wow, and that's good. That's good right there. That's good right there. I think some particular agreements call it domicile state. Others call it headquartered states.
Yeah.
Things like that. We're headquartered out of Alabama, and so
Hmm.
we have to make sure that we have that information in the contract, that all of these regulations and these rules and things of agreement are according to Alabama state law. And if you're in a different state, it has to be according to whatever law you
Hmm.
have actually domiciled or headquartered your business out of. That's really good information. Great nuggets there. Great nuggets there. And then another agreement that is so important, girl. Oh goodness, is that non-disclosure agreement. That NDA, baby. Listen, that NDA has saved me a bunch of days.
It will get you in trouble because we're in a generation of always just sharing and sharing information and talking and talking. We got something to say, right?
Yes, yes.
When you're in a meeting with someone, what you're saying or that idea that you're sharing or this information that you're sharing or the intent to work together that you're discussing, if it's not, in confidence, they can take that and go work with somebody else, those wonderful ideas you just shared. They can take all that wealth of knowledge that you just talked about as their broker, what you're going to do and how you're going to help
Mm,
them. and give it to another person and says, hey, you should be doing this in your business. These are the models you should be doing over here. This is the framework you should share with your business. No, you don't own that. What
Wow.
I speak and what I say in this conversation, I own. What you speak and what you say in this conversation, you own. Only in this conversation. Not
Mm.
here and you want to tell everybody what we discussed.
Wow, wow. That's big right there. That's big right there. You know, when you're working with several clients and you're trying to make sure you give them the best amount of information of what they paid for, right? And you are agreeing to be their expert of choice, right? You give a lot of great nuggets in your business, right? And you reveal so much information. Example, you know, in the real estate game, even in the insurance game, I try to make sure that all of the clients have maybe some information they wouldn't hear from another so-called expert in the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm giving you inside, like, listen, I'm giving you inside information here to say, hey, you make sure that you are aware of this information on your agreement or this part of your purchase agreement, or if you're going to purchase this particular type of house, make sure you look at this in your appraisal. You know, just
Mm-hmm.
little tidbits that can make a big difference. But you also have to say, you know what, I told you not to be going out trying to reuse my information. And that's a whole nother thing, right? Even when you're working with other clients, right? You can't use the information that I gave you to refurbish it and sell it yourself underneath your own name and brand. That's another part of that
Mm-hmm.
NDA. Even if it's not a client and it's someone that you're working with in a whole nother type deal, right? It could be, why did you just take my information? Let me tell you, this is a really quick example of that. I have a business partner in South Alabama that ended up giving some information to one of her clients to try to help them a little bit. Say, hey, I'm going to help you with this. And it was in a nonprofit area, the organizations. She's like, I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you that. Would you believe she actually, even after she signed the NDA, she took that information, refurbished it, sent it to her marketing company, put her brand on it, sold it for a profit when she got it for free from the person that she was actually working with. Can you believe that? So it's amazing of what that NDA, and she ended up having to take her to court and won because she was like, listen, I can verify and confirm all the email information, everything back and forth, all the tidbits and great nuggets that I gave you in our servicing. And you signed an NDA with me that you would not disclose this type of information or reuse my information to for your own benefit. And guess what? Now that you have done that and it's in the market and we can confirm it's in the market, guess what? You didn't even change the verbiage of the information. You just put your own listen, she didn't even change the information, Christina. She used the exact same letter for letter, word for word.
Because she didn't think anyone would say anything. Because most people think, oh, I signed this, they're not going to actually come back and do anything to me. No, this is
Mm-hmm.
binding between us that you're not going to do this. And if you work with someone and you think, even if you don't think it's going to happen, you're hiring employees, right? You got to also sign that non-compete disclosure. If you're doing courses, if you're going to be having them as an apprentice, whatever, because things today, people will do things and not thinking they're going to have actually anything done to them.
Right, right.
But you have to start each relationship with a foundation. And those documents let the foundation be known that I respect you enough to have this in place and you respect me enough to sign it.
Exactly.
If you come into a situation with no foundation laid, anything can happen.
Wow, exactly.
Now the client trusts you and you trust your client. And that's the best way to start any business ship is with trust.
That's
And
right.
those documents, they lay that foundation of trust. So anything built on top of it, again, everyone's clear, everyone knows expectations, everything's understood. There's no
Mm-hmm.
of arbitration mediation to happen because we know what the foundation is.
Right,
With
right.
the foundation, you end up having a mudslide.
That is so true. That is so true. And so I had to tell you that particular one because it stood out to me when we were talking about the NDAs. Oh my goodness. And then the last thing that we want to talk about really quickly is collaboration agreements, right? So you and I were just talking about this. I said, oh, I'm calling this. I'm calling Miss Christina. I need another collaboration agreement. Hello, listen, Miss Christina, I got another collab. I need you to go ahead and set me up. Here's her document
Yeah.
information, right? So I'm really one of those people that's really high strong on collaboration agreements because I want you to be able to understand what I agreed to do in this, partnership and what you agreed to in this partnership. So I'm gonna let you expound on that about how important that is to have a collaboration agreement.
It is probably in today's society, especially with social media collaborations and business joining ventures, etc., that it's understood what's expected. And also, in any collaboration, think about this: what if you guys do not like each other after this collaboration, right?
Ooh.
What happens? Because you don't really know someone until you actually work with them on some type of capacity.
Wow.
So if it ends in not such a great business ship, this protects you from that. Because you may not like that person. Something may happen. Money didn't happen expected. You guys thought you were gonna get a whole bunch of money from this idea together because you're collaborating, and it didn't happen. And now you're mad because she didn't email as much, or he didn't email as much, or they didn't send that many DMs out. Whatever that is, all those expectations of what you're wanting from each partner needs
Mhm.
to be in that agreement,
Mm.
down to how you're going to meet weekly to check in, to check on the collaboration, how it's going, who's going to build out the framework for the collaboration, if there are going to be any funnels included in the collaboration, who's going to do those, who's going to pay for software that may be needed during the collaboration. All that needs to be in there because that's what's going to run that model for the collaboration to work. But if
Wow.
there's nothing in there, and the next thing comes up, oh, we need $54 for StreamYard to go live or something. Now it's like, well, who's paying that $54? Are we splitting the cost down the middle, or are we going to use your account? Like, what are we doing here? Because then that's when that whole confrontation starts, or I didn't have the money yet, and now the collaboration is slowed down, and now it's who's pointing fingers, and you just don't want that to happen because it can happen. It has happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I always tell clients, how would you feel if you didn't like each other after the collaboration?
Mm. Mm.
Because you don't want to ruin a business ship because something didn't work out. It's business. Everything doesn't go perfectly planned,
Right.
ever, ever.
Right.
It will
And
never
that's
be
the
perfectly planned. So
yeah, nothing.
just keep everything again clear and concise, down to software, down to who's obligated to do what time frame it needs to be done. Are we using something to make sure we're tracking each other's progress on this collaboration? Like, what details need to be included? Because those details matter. If it's not on those four corners, I don't have to do it. And you can't tell me
Absolutely.
I should be doing or I should have thought about that. No, 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 no. We didn't think about this before we made this collaboration agreement.
That is so true. And then it's just distinctive lines because sometimes things could just get lost in translation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have one person you're talking to and you're like, oh, it was my understanding. Well, it was your understanding, but it wasn't actually in the collaboration agreement that you were going to do this or I was going to do that, or your expectation of those that are on your particular panel are supposed to do what to help you market it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you have an event going on and you need to get in front of some organic crowd. You need all of the people that's involved to actually be sharing it on social media a certain amount of times of days or da da da. All of that is in the collaboration agreement that you're agreeing to help me push this event to make sure that it actually works well, right? And that you're going to be one of those people that's get in front of your crowd. Let us help get in front of organic crowds. All of that is part of that collaboration agreement.
Because we'll see them do something with someone else and think, oh, they're going to do the same thing for me. Well, that may have been in their collaboration agreement. And you're just thinking, oh, well, they did it with them, they're going to do it with me. So I'm not going to worry about that. And then when it doesn't happen, now you're upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of that could have been prevented if we just put it all in these four corners, and
Hmm.
we both went through it together again, making sure each person actually read the document, not just they got it and signed it and sent it back to you. That way, again, it doesn't come up later. It's all
Exactly.
about building that foundation of good businessship. We
Hmm.
want education in our relationships, but we don't do it in our businesships. And then we wonder why there's an issue. You have to on both ends and say, hey, I see this is happening, and be proactive in your businesships. I see this is happening. I don't think we put this in our contract. Can we go in and sign our initials and add this in there? that can be done. There may be
Mm,
negotiations that have to happen after the contract because you didn't think about it.
yeah.
Go in there and sign your initials and add those things in there, and now it's binding again. But not saying anything, waiting to the last minute. We got to have that good, clear communication.
Mm.
I can
And
utilize that.
there you go. You know I love the four corners of the contract. You be laughing at me, so D, you crazy. Four corners. I, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for giving us all this knowledge today. And you're in the middle, getting ready to go into court yourself, doing some things. I said, oh, look at her. She's in the car talking to us about what documents we need internally in our business, getting ready to walk into another court case. And so I'm just like, girl, I appreciate you for even taking on that 15 minutes with us, just to give us
Yeah.
some really true nuggets of what we need internally, not just documents of formation, but I'm talking about internally for operating properly, and to knock out all the headaches later on
Mhm.
of not really knowing what's going on with your collaborations, your NDAs, your service agreements. These things are vitally important. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our 15 minutes of fame on Financially Fit Fridays with none other than Miss Christina Renteria. Thank
I
you
like
so much, Christina. We will be chatting really soon.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You have a great court case today, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, goodness. I love talking to her. She's so sweet.